But Jessica and I actually began the journey to this panel about 6 months ago when I was in a group that Jessica had asked to map our public media universes. A lot of you were there. And what she was asking us to do was to graphically render our relationships, our allies, our partners, and the institutions that we intersected with. And it just so happened that this convening happened just a few days after I came back from another mapping project where we were physically putting media in places. So it was kind of the reverse. And I guess it opened the door to a lot of questions about who was creating maps and for what purpose. I mean, as Jessica and Pat both alluded to, there definitely has been an explosion recently of map interfaces for every purpose. Mapping social networks, mapping the arts field, mapping the media, carbon emissions, sites of conflict, and of course, here, the election maps have almost become their own genre. An increasing number of blogs, of course, and video players are also tied to maps, but why? I think like most people in this room, I gravitate to the visual power of the map, probably for the intrinsic idea that maps organize and place. Also, many of the new data visualization tools allow us to give texture and layers to the intersections that we in public media hope make our work more meaningful. It's no longer only truth-telling that defines us, obviously. It's also outreach, it's inclusivity, and its impact. And mapping has seemed to give us a way to aggregate and locate our work and give it scale in new ways. And some of these maps are very cool. I love Breathing Earth, which you'll see. But the idea of mapping, as Jessica said earlier, is also, for many people, intrinsically tied to colonization. And I think probably the most famous of those mapping projects is a remapping of Africa in 1885, which we still live with the consequences of. And that might seem like an extraneous thing to bring up in the context of this discussion, but as Jessica and I really combed through map after map to try to find maps that really originated from communities that were organized around local sort of concerns, we were very hard-pressed to find anything like that. And it's not that there aren't great examples out there or participatory examples. It's just that we realized as we even tried to talk about this in terms of top-down or bottom-up, that we were bringing a lot of our own assumptions that have shaped our other discussions about public media into this new realm. So what makes mapping in this moment powerful and different? If we accept, as the dictionary tells us, that incorporated in a map is the understanding that it is a snapshot of an idea, a single picture, a selection of concepts from a constantly changing database of information, then what are our maps telling us about how we inform and mobilize publics, to return to our marching orders? I, of course, have no answers to these questions, but these people do. So the question I would throw out is if Web 2.0, or whatever we're up to now, is about citizen media and about user-generated and open content, then help us connect the dots to the publics located in these maps. In other words, what's new, what's public, and what's media?